Hey guys, welcome back to Fortune Finds. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to color correct. Now, color correcting has been around for a pretty long time. It was a pretty big deal, I believe, in 2015. I felt like any Sephora or Ulta you went into, there were big billboards promoting color correcting. Every company was coming out with a color correcting palette. And I dabbled into it, but I couldn't really find that one product that really worked for my skin. Everything that I used seemingly would poke through my foundation, would look like I was wearing a lot more product under my eye than the rest of my face. I have had this pop blood vessel on my face for the longest time. It is red, it is bold, it is not cute, and I also have one right above the Cupid's bow of my lips. I don't know what they're from. I think they're from working out, but I'm not sure. If you know, leave me some info in the comments because they're highly annoying. And I also get redness around my nose and my mouth, which is from hormones. I've been getting back into color correcting. I thought to myself, you know what? I spent so much money in the past on color correctors. Let me find one that's affordable that hopefully will work. So I did a lot of research and I found this by JCat Beauty, and it retails for $5.99. So $6. You get 4 shades. I'll swatch them for you. Get a yellow shade, which helps brighten the skin, even the skin tone, and cancel out any yellowness that you may have in your skin. Orange, which cancels out any darkness that you have. A green that cancels out red shades. You also get a lilac, which is pretty much the same as yellow. They help to color correct any dull areas that you might have in your face. I personally like to use the purple to highlight my cheekbones and the yellow to highlight down my nose. It's a really good palette at a super affordable price. I've been dabbling back into this for about a month now. Before I wash my face for the night, I've just been dabbling with the color correcting to see what it looks like. It wasn't until yesterday when I went out with my boyfriend and my family that everyone was like, oh wow, your skin looks really good. It looks so even, blah, blah, blah. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna sit down today and show you guys what I've discovered. So without further ado, let's get on to the makeup tutorial. I've already primed my face. I used the NARS Radiance Primer. We're gonna start out with the orange shade first. I'm gonna take my index finger, and the reason why you should use your index finger, you have the least amount of control with this finger. So it won't push the product in too much, it won't move the product too much. It's literally just going to dab where you take it. And I like to use my fingertips because it really warms up the product. And I'm just going to dab that over my dark circles. And you just want to create a very light layer of the product. Now, if you have a darker toned skin, you could go ahead and use a red. That will probably help color correct better, but I'm pretty fair and light, so an orange or like even a peach, if you're even fairer than me, would work best. We covered up the circles. We did a very, very light layer, not too much. So to counter correct any red shades in your skin, you're gonna wanna use the green. So doing the same thing, I'm just gonna wipe that off. I'm gonna grab the green on that same finger and I'm just going to spot treat the area and just make sure you're blending it out. And the redness around my nose and my mouth. A little bit of redness on top of my nose, so I'm gonna do that. And I plucked my eyebrows a little bit this morning and I have some redness up there, so I'm just gonna cover that up with the green. I have a lot of redness on my face, actually, like all around my mouth. Why? It's so annoying. All of the problem areas that I see are an issue for me are now covered. So typically I would stop right here. I would move on to concealer and foundation. For the purpose of this video and to show you guys how to make the most out of color correcting, I'm going to do the entire face. So wiping that finger off again, I'm going to dive into the purple and I'm just gonna highlight my cheekbones. Again, the lilac is to correct dull areas. It cancels out any yellowness. So if you have yellow hues in your skin, anywhere on your face, you can use the lilac to cover that up. So it's really just a brightening agent to give life to the skin wherever you may need it. So I'm just gonna use it to highlight my cheekbones because that's somewhere where we want to be luminous. Moving on to our final shade, I'm just gonna take the yellow shade, and that is also a brightening agent, and I'm just gonna put it down my nose. So wiping off again, grabbing the yellow, and spotting down the nose to just brighten up and a little bit on my Cupid's bow. Pounce a damp beauty blender over those areas just to further make sure that they don't poke through your foundation. Make sure that you're bouncing the product into the skin, because if you go and swipe the product, you're gonna move the product and it's just going to cancel out the color correcting, because you put the color correcting in specific areas, so you don't wanna move them. If you find that anything got too lost, you can always add more. I'm gonna add a little bit more to the redness under my eye just because it drives me bananas, and my lip. Now, I suggest if this is your first time color correcting that you go in lightly just to get an idea. You might want to practice. I think everything looks good, but again, take your time. If anything looks uneven, add a little bit more. If you think there's too much in one area, like always, you can just go in with your beauty blender and pounce. It will take any excess product off of your face. I'm going to be using the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, and I am in the shade Vienna. Taking that on the bottom of my beauty blender, I'm just gonna pounce this all over the skin like we typically would, and again, bounce. Do not move the product. And I find that it's important to use a liquid foundation when color correcting, because if you use a stick foundation, those tend to be a little bit harder to blend out and they need a little bit more of swiping motions. So use a liquid. This way you're not moving the color corrector. And that is one side of the face blended in. I look a little crazy, but you can see the foundation blended out seamlessly. It looks really good. And I'm doing this because I just want to show you. You can really see the colors on this side of my face, obviously, because they're not being hidden with foundation. But if you apply liquid foundation in a pouncing motion, you will really cover up the color corrector. Now, you're not seeing anything because we used our finger to apply the color corrector. And again, the finger really warms up the product and blends it out and makes it more sheer. No dark circles, and I'm not wearing any concealer. It's awesome. This is such a good color correcting palette. So natural. I'm a big fan. Now I'm just gonna blend out the other side of my face, and then we'll reconvene for the next couple steps. Going in with some concealer, I'm just gonna take the Tarte Tape Shape, and I'm just gonna put a little bit under the eyes, not too much. It's summer. I don't wanna pack on more makeup than I have to. And just between the brows and the Cupid's bow, and a little on the chin. And that's it, that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take that smaller Eco Tools sponge, and I'm just gonna blending out the under eye last. All right, guys, our concealer is all blended in. Now I'm gonna go ahead and to further brighten up the under eye, I'm going to be taking the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. Now, if you follow me on Instagram and you saw my Insta stories, I put a story up the other night. I'm actually going to host a banana battle here on my YouTube channel. I bought 3 different types of drugstore priced banana powders. I'm gonna test the 3 of them out to see which one brightens up the under eye the most. So that video will be up next week. I'm not telling you if this one won the battle, but I am going to be using the Brighten Up powder. It's pretty good, and it's a pressed powder, which I like because it doesn't get everywhere, especially for me because I'm so prone to accidents all the time. Now, I'm just gonna take the back of my little beauty blender, and I'm just gonna pat and then set the under eye. And I apologize if it's loud. My neighbors are like blasting music, which is cool and dandy, just not when you're filming a YouTube video. So if you hear that, I apologize. I also like to use this down the nose and anywhere else that I went ahead to brighten. So I'm gonna go down the nose, between the brows, on top of the cheekbones, Cupid's bow, and my chin. And there we go. The face is set. All of our concealer's on. This is what the color correcting looks like. I think it did a pretty good job. The only thing that seemingly always peeks out for me is this red blood vessel. We're not perfect. Like, this video is pretty much telling the world, like, hey, I have imperfections, but this is how you can correct them. There's nothing wrong with imperfections. I don't want you or anyone to ever think that having imperfections is an issue, but this is why people are so into makeup, because makeup can really make you feel beautiful and flawless, and there are so many techniques out there to help correct things. You don't have to go under the knife, you don't have to go through surgery, you can always just rely on makeup to fix those few issues that you're having. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna throw on my makeup for the day, and then we can reconvene back here. All right guys, and this is the finished makeup look. How do I look? I think I look good. I think it looks fresh. I think my face looks so even and so luminous and just so bright. I am super into color correcting. I know it's just like another layer to throw on top of the layers and layers of makeup regimes that we do. If you're just gonna spot treat, it's really easy. It doesn't take that much time, but I'm like super into the whole face. I've never color corrected my entire face the way that I did in this video, and I have to say, I think it makes quite the difference. But maybe it doesn't. Let me know in the comments if my skin looks better than any of my other videos, because I feel like it looks leaps and bounds better, but maybe I'm just like crazy today. So I will definitely be doing this more often. I think I will keep it to like special occasions, but like I said, tricks to doing color correcting is to realize that you're throwing on an extra layer of product onto your skin. So you wanna make sure that that layer is super thin and that it's not opaque and it's really blended down. This way you don't look like you're wearing a freakishly large amount of makeup. Also, it's important to really dab your foundation and your concealer and any products that you're putting on over the color correcting. You're color correcting in certain spots for a reason. You wanna keep the yellow, the orange, the green, the whatever color in place. So dabbing keeps it in place and doesn't move the color corrector around. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all you guys need to know. And let me know if you guys end up buying this JCat Beauty palette. It's really good. And like I said, it's like $6 at Ulta. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I am here once a week. I sit down with you guys, tell you guys what's new in the beauty industry, whatever. I talk about whatever. I'm always finding new products, hence the name Fortune Finds. I tend to upload either on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays. I can't commit, like I have a full-time job and it's a lot, so sorry, bear with me. I'm hoping to get to the point where I can upload 2 to 3 times a week. I'm just not there yet. So yeah, subscribe to my channel. Be sure to hit the bell button. This way you get a notification every time I upload a video here on my YouTube channel. I had so much fun hanging out, and thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys. Mwah.